All right, welcome to Wi-Fi Real Estate Sundays. This is gonna be a weekly thing that I do. So hopefully you can find the time to jump on because I got some stuff that I'm about to teach this year. My real estate tycoons are killing it. Put a one in, nah, I already did one. Put a 7 in the chat if you one of my real estate tycoons and you in the land flipping boot camp right now. Put a 7 in the chat. All right, they in. Y'all in here. All right, I love it. Y'all in here. All right, y'all made my Sunday. All right, let's do real quick. Hold on. All right, real quick. I want to see. I play Shaquille O'Neal for a reason. That's my. I really love. I really love him. I love his portfolio. I love his mindset. I love how he's grown. I love how he's taking responsibility for um the things that he did wrong, even in his marriage. Like I just love him all around. Like uh I don't know if my cousin Kim is on here, but my cousin Kim used to date Shaquille O'Neal, so my family was I was able to meet him when I was younger. But I got let's do a little quiz. I want to know how much do y'all know. So real quick before I even got into real estate, I really wanted to be inspired by somebody, and I didn't have anybody around me to be inspired by. So I used to go to the library and just read stories about people that were where I wanted to be. So I suggest wherever you are, whoever you are inspired by, whether it's their portfolio, whether there's their philanthropy, whether it's their education, whether it's the way they're orators and they speak, whether it's their energy, wherever they are, like study them. I promise you, it's gonna encourage you because when you look at their story, and most times we were taught, oh, they grew up with a silver spoon in their mouth. But when you really look nowadays that we are in the podcast age, we're realizing that a lot of people did not grow up with silver spoons in their mouth. Like they have stories like you and I. So real quick before we jump in, what fast food franchise did Shaquille O'Neal become a franchise? Become did Shaquille O- What fast food franchise did Shaquille O'Neal um become a board member of? Anybody know? Papa John's. Good job. All right. Um, Shaquille O'Neal famously he invested in a tech company in the early days. What was it? A tech. It was a tech platform. I can't really see the chat, but I'm gonna try. What was one of his first investments? And it was a tech business. It was in tech. Anybody know? I can't really see my chat, so just bear with me. No, it's before Ring. It was Google. It was Google. All right, what percentage stake does Shaquille O'Neal own of Papa John's? What's his percentage of ownership? I don't have no 100. No, most people, I guess we would think that he owned a large part of it because whenever people think of Papa John's, they think of Shaquille O'Neal now, but only 2%. He owns 2%. Shaquille O'Neal owns several locations of what fitness brand? What fitness brand is he a part of? Some of you probably go to it. Nope. Planet. Yep. Good job, Raymond. Planet. All right. Shaquille O'Neal has been the face of what pain relief cream? He's in the summer. Everything. icy hot. Good job. All right, I'm in a room full of some. All right. What luxury brand did Shaquille O'Neal collaborate with to start doing a jewelry collection? Some of you might have gotten y'all wedding rings from this place. No, not K's. What's the other one? Zales. Good job, Miss Davis. All right. Shaquille O'Neal is part owner in which home security company? Somebody said it earlier. Yep. Good job. How many Five Guys burgers and fries franchises did Shaquille O'Neal own once own? He sold them. 155. Good. Who was that? Right on point. Good job, Miss Taylor. Um, what what Shaquille O'Neal, he earned a doctoral degree in what field? What field was it? It was business. Well, no, it was education. Education. All right. Which of these was Shaquille O'Neal's first endorsement deal as a professional athlete? What was his first endorsement deal as he was an athlete? Reebok. All right, y'all some moguls in here. All right, I love it. All right, put a um put a two in the chat if your goal is to invest in some level of real estate this year, 2025. That's your ultimate goal. Is to have a deed or to do some real estate deals. All right, I'm in the right. I'm in the right room. I'm in the right room. All right, I'm in the All right, so today, like I said, every week I'm gonna be. This is my series, Wi-Fi real estate. So every week I'm gonna be teaching something different about it. I have so many people that are in my boot camp right now, and they're doing some phenomenal things. They're positioning themselves to do some phenomenal deals. And I've been in the game for a long time, and I realized that I'm not going to build millionaires by just helping entrepreneurs, because everybody is an entrepreneur, everybody has an LLC, everybody's doing their own thing. And many entrepreneurs, to me, not to discredit entrepreneurs, I love y'all, but to me, many entrepreneurs, what is happening is they're replacing their job with their business, so which really means that they're now working for their business and still being in the same position that they were if they still had a job. Because ultimately, most entrepreneurs are not marketing. They don't have consultants. They don't have a team that's helping them go to the next level. And then many times it takes a while for a business to get the momentum and make money. So we don't get into business to be wealthy and rich. We invest to be wealthy and rich. So if you don't know how to manage money and you work in a job, 9 times out of 10, if you don't get some type of help, you're not going to know how to make money with a business, because you're going to have large sums of money come in, then you're going to use them for your own leisure, for your own purpose, for your own. So it's kind of like you just replacing a job with a business. So um, I want to get into teaching about Wi-Fi real estate, and ultimately, hopefully, you take some notes. If this is your first time jumping on one of my classes, put a 4 in the chat for me, please. This is your first time jumping on one of my classes, put a 4 in the chat for me. All right, I'm glad to have you. Glad to have you. Glad to have you, Raymond. This ain't your first time. All right, so glad to have y'all. I'll do a little recap of what I do, um, but yeah. So 90% of millionaires were built through real estate. So I knew that if I wanted to become a millionaire, the odds of me becoming a millionaire through real estate was a lot greater than me, you know, not doing anything at all or trying to become a millionaire through business. Most times in business, if you're trying to scale your business, everything that you make, you got to put back into your business. So you got to keep recycling it. You got to put money into systems, into education, into employees, into marketing. So you got to keep putting money back into your business. So I knew that if I wanted to make the money that I really wanted to make, I was going to have to be a real estate investor. So many of you may know my stories. I made my first million at 24, but I lost it at 27 because, yeah, I made it in real estate, but no one ever taught me how to keep it. So because nobody never taught me how to keep it, then I was still in the same position after making the money. So I want to share with you a little bit about myself, and then I'm gonna map some things out for you. Those of you that's your first time seeing me or being on any of my platforms, I have a incredible school called the Tycoon School of Entrepreneurs, and we've this is our second year. Many of my students are inside of here. Put a T inside the chat if you're a student of the Tycoon School of Entrepreneurs, or you're one of my incredible mentees in the Rockefeller Mentorship. I see a lot of T's. All right, so I have a school, and that has been my ultimate dream, my ultimate purpose in life, was to become a teacher, and because I want to teach people stuff that they don't know, and I love doing it. So my name's Coach Demont. I began my journey at 20 years old, became a millionaire by the age of 24, as I said, and I am some people say self-made millionaire, but I'm a God-made millionaire. God has blessed me so in so many ways. I flipped over 100 houses. I had a car rental business. I just sold it last year. Exotic car rental business in Miami. Had a car dealership in LA. Just recently sold it. Had 21 rental properties. Just recently sold them. Had a Airbnb portfolio. Just recently sold them to be able to get fully into real estate. So I'm a robotic developer working on, printing 3D homes. We'll talk a little bit about that in a minute, which many of you probably already know. All right, so I've helped thousands of people set up trust. I did my own TED Talk. I have a product called Debt Deletion AI. Now I teach people how to delete their own debt. I give them a virtual assistant, and this is what it looks like. All right, so I've helped a lot of people buy land, duplexes, commercial properties. The lady in my program, one of my mentees, she said, Coach, she was on one of the Zooms one day. She just literally broke down crying, and she was just kind of like, she said, Coach, I've never thought that I would have anything. She might be on here tonight. She said, I never thought I would have anything to leave my children. She said, my house is owned by a bank. My car is owned by a bank. She said, if something happened to me right now, I don't have anything to be proud to leave them. She said, but I was able to buy some land, and now I have something that I can leave them. And she literally was weeping, crying, just feeling good about her life and what she was able to do. So I love that. I love that. That's what I was created for. All right. So again, I've flipped hundreds of houses and Airbnb portfolio. I had 21 house rentals on Section 8. If I had to do all that over again, I would go a whole different route. But we only can know what we know. All right. So if you stay on to the end, I just wrote a new book, 30-Day Real Estate Tycoon Land Flipping Roadmap. So it's pretty much an outline of every day, how to get there in 30 days. I'll give you that book if you stay to the end. Jeff Bezos, I love him. He pretty much revolutionized online shopping. And this is where he started. This is him. This is where Amazon started. He was in his office, and and he had one of them old school computers. Put a three in the chat. If you used to have one of these big computers, and I think they were called Macintosh or so. I don't know what. Remember what they was called? Big old computers, and this is where he started Amazon. Now we all know, like, I can't live without Amazon. Like, if Amazon shut down today, it probably would destroyed my life in a lot of ways because I live on Amazon because it literally has made my life much easier. But this is where it started, in an office. And many of you are starting your journey this year in real estate investing, and you may look at it and look at what other people done, flipping houses or Airbnbs or all of those different things. You feel like, oh, I don't have enough money. Oh, my credit's not where it needs to be. Oh, financially, I'm not where it needs to be. But I want you to know, if you stop through here today, that you have what it takes. Start with what you have and build from there. Go find 4 other people, piece it together. Start your closest friends. Y'all should be able to put $50 in a pot every single month, and each other. If you hang around people and y'all they not willing to invest with you, you are around the wrong people. If your family is not seeing the vision, then yes, they're your family. You got to love them, but you got to spend your time with some people that you're aligned with. So the number one reason why most people are gonna die and not be wealthy or rich and not have any real estate is because of this is what statistics say. It's not what Coach Lamar says. It's because of lack of financial education and planning. So it's one thing to have financial education, but it's another thing to know how to plan. So many people are not taught how to build, protect, and transfer wealth effectively. So if you're not taught something, you have to be self-taught. You have to be self-taught, or you have to come to master classes and classes like this to be able to learn. But many of you are going to take a lot of screenshots, and by the end of this training, you're going to be motivated and all of that. But tomorrow is going to be the same thing. You know, that's insanity. And then you just go have all this information in you, but you're not executing it. So you go look up by the end of the year, and your portfolio is not going to be have expounded because you're still where you are, because you think where you are is the reason is because you don't have the money, or because you don't know how, or because you're scared, or because you're fearful. But I'm here to tell you that I'm hoping you get some level of knowledge here today that you're able to execute it on whatever capacity. Approximately 70,000 people. I'm sorry, 70% of people fail to leave behind generational wealth. And if our goal is to build generations of wealth, then we have to start with somewhere. The 2023 survey found that 67% of Americans don't have a will or any form of estate planning. They don't have a trust. They don't have anything in place. So everything they have in building is going to probate. They don't own real estate. They don't have any type of real estate portfolio. They're not learning financial literacy so that they can make sure that the next generation is further ahead in the race, instead of saying, you know what, my grandfather didn't teach me this. Because you know what people do to come after you, they blame you. Because that's what many of us have did. Well, my mother didn't teach me this, or my grandmother didn't teach me this, or we didn't know this. So they blame you. So they're going to blame you. The 2 generations from now, they're going to say, my grandfather didn't teach me this. You know what? He talked about it, but he never did it. My grandmother said she was going to start a business, and she said she was going to open up a family bank, but you know, we got to start the rat race over. You know what? I heard my auntie say she was going to invest in real estate, but she spent the money and went to Dubai, and we when she died, we still didn't have nothing. Oh, she had a life insurance policy, but she was in so much debt because she didn't have a trust. So now we had to take the life insurance policy and pay for her estate that was already sunken in tax debt. So I just want you to think. I want to spend the first few minutes of my class. I want you to think. So welcome to Wi-Fi Real Estate Land Flipping Masterclass. This is, to me, I've done a lot. I've tried a lot of different things and businesses. And although I've made millions of dollars in the Airbnb business, it was a headache. And like I just said, when you meet somebody that's successful, like you just heard Shaquille O'Neal say, you got to ask them how. Ask them how, ask them what their experience was, and ask them what they do it again, and ask them what they show you. So everybody's on the wave of Turo. I just told you I sold my Turo business, and I could tell you 5,000 reasons why. Everybody's on the wave of rental properties. I just sold my rental portfolio, and I can tell you why. Everybody's on the wave of truck driving. Never had a trucking company, but all my friends and mentees that had trucking companies, they all have sold them, dissolved them, or are trying to get rid of them. So everybody's on the wave of wholesaling and all that. It was a wave of wholesale. Everybody was wholesaling. So I don't get on waves. Everybody's on the wave of doing credit repair. I don't do credit repair. So I just want to challenge you to not be on the wave. Like when you start studying things, sometimes when you study things, you're looking at what's trendy. Don't do what's trendy. Do what the numbers, what makes sense with the numbers. So you over 10 million house flippers are in the United States. 4 million realtors chasing the same deals that's on market. All right, 4,000 active land developers. So that means literally we don't have any competition. My friend just went to a real estate conference the other day, and he said, Coach, I went to this real estate conference in Miami the other day, and literally not one person I met was a land flipper. He said, and I've made over $1 million land flipping in the last year because everybody's doing what's trendy, wholesaling or subject twos or rental properties or flipping. He said, I'm telling you, and I'm not gonna ever say what I won't do again, but I'm telling you myself. I ain't saying what he said. I was a flipper. I love flipping houses because I love seeing the before and after. But I don't think that I'm gonna flip that many more. It got to be an incredible situation for me to want to flip a house. When I looked at what the literally I could take my laptop, go to a beach, and literally flip land versus me flipping a house. I got a house right here in Atlanta, and it has been a headache. A headache. I love it. It's gonna be incredible when we get done with it. Has a pool. I'm not gonna flip it. I'm gonna keep it. It's gonna be called the Tycoon House. But it has been a headache. So I'll just say that, and just to go deep into a little bit into uh, Wi-Fi real estate. Wi-Fi real estate pretty much means just buying and selling land using the internet and never leaving your house. We got to these kids now, they doing things so faster. Stuff that used to take us months to do. These kids are doing in 5 seconds. Stuff that used to take us months to figure out with our phones. These kids are getting these phones. My little 5-year-old niece is more versed in a phone than I am. So technology, it's no reason why we shouldn't be utilizing technology and understanding technology to be able to go to the next level. Um, So Wi-Fi real estate is primarily focused on this is a quiz. Let's do a quiz real quick. So what is Wi-Fi real estate primarily focused on? A, selling online. B, put it in the chat. First person put it in the chat. B, using digital tools to flip, find, and manage real estate deals. C, offering free internet properties. And D, investing in tech startups. Anybody? I can't see mom. Oh, I see it. All right, good job. All right, yeah, y'all got it. All right, so it is B. I think I got one more. Um, True or false? You can flip land profitably without ever seeing the property in person. Is that true or false? True. See, some of my real estate tycoons on here, so they know this. They know these answers. All right, it is true. It is true. All right, so let's jump in. So in this training, I want to show you how you can make. Well, first of all, let me see who's in the room real quick. What's your goal? What's your goal to make this year? Tell me I want to put a number to it. I want to attach a number to our faith. I want to manifest real quick. All right, 1.5 million, 750,000, 250,000. All right. I believe all things are possible. 300,000, 800,000, a million, 1.7 million. I believe it. I believe it. 250,000. I believe it. 175,000, 100,000. I believe it. 7 figures. 2 million. I believe it. If you said 2,000, I believe it. If you said 200,000, I believe it. If you said 200 million, I believe it. 2.2 million, I believe it. 5 million, I believe it. Miguel, good to see you. 150,000, I believe it. Whatever it is, there's no low or high end. I'm not gonna say, oh, you needs to be this. No, wherever you feel like it needs to be. But just know, if we do a comparison between last year and this year, that means we gotta do something different this year. We can't do what we did last year. All right. And time is ticking. So we also have to do what I'm about to do with my Rockefeller mentees is we about to do a time assessment. So we about to do a time assessment for the next 7 to 10 days. So you're gonna, I mean, not the next, I'm gonna have them start next week, but a time assessment that I want to see on how you spend your time. So how you spend your time is going to determine what that number looks like. if most of your time is in social media, most of your time is not learning about real estate, or most of your time is, talking on the phone about other people, or most of your time is watching movies on Tubi or Netflix, then that's where your time goes. So I want to see where people's time goes, because that's gonna help me know where they're gonna go. It's very simple. It's called a time audit. Just a time audit. All right. So we avoid in this form of real estate, we avoid the three T's: tenants, toilets, and termites. So I'm not saying it's not okay to have it later on, but now it's time to build up. It's time to build up the surplus so that we have revenue, so that we have cash flow, so that we have, capital. We need some capital. So the I'm gonna pretty much be showing you how to get started flipping land, but not houses. I flipped houses, and now I'm flipping land, and I'm gonna tell you I love flipping land so much better. So here's some of the benefits of flipping land: it's less competition. Only a small percentage of investors focus on land compared to houses. I showed you that earlier. In most markets, 10x more investors send offers on houses than vacant land. So most people are focused on houses. They're focused on houses. But we all know that every house is on what? It's on land. So the land had to come from somewhere, either a developer, a builder, whoever. So that's what I want to be. I want to be aligned with the land. There's not ever gonna be no more land. There's always gonna be more houses. All right. So and I don't want to be in an oversaturated industry. That's why I just retired from fixing credit. All right. So here's some of the benefits of land flipping. The first one is less competition. Only a small percentage of investors focus on that. So we already talked about that. The second one is no emotional attachment to sellers. So sellers are not usually sellers are usually tired of holding the land, and they just want to get rid of it. So there's no emotional attachment. Emotional attachment means if it's a house, oh, it's my grandmother's house. Oh, it's the family house. Oh, how many of you put a 5 in the chat? Y'all got family family houses that y'all probably never want to get rid of because it's just so much emotional attachment to it. Whether your grandmother lived there, or whether somebody might have passed in that house, or whether it was your first house and you just proud of yourself and you don't never want to sell it, or it was your mother's house and she passed and it's so many memories. So a lot of times it's attachments to houses. So when it's attachment to houses, then people put more higher value on it and it's harder to get it. Well, with land, there's no attachment. So, example, a seller inherited a 5-acre lot. This is a recent example of what's going on with me. A seller inherited a 5-acre lot in a rural area, but has not visited it in the last 5 years. All right, so that's possible because I got some land right now I ain't never even seen. So if somebody called me right now for the right price, I would sell it to them. The third thing is no repairs or maintenance. So no tenants, no plumbing issues, no property rehab. A vacant lot in Texas requires zero effort compared to a house that needs to be rehabbed, which requires you to find a contractor, you to go figure out what supplies you need, for you to either go to Home Depot or Lowe's and get the supplies and drop it off to the contractor. Then you got to manage the contractor. Then you got to get utilities at the house. And then you got to see if you're going to run into any other things that the unforeseen. And I've been through it all. And then the contractor go dig deep and he go tell, oh no, you need a roof. This roof ain't no good. Or oh, I found some mold. The house is off the foundation. Or oh, like my situation right now where the basement is leaking. So now I got to bring in a waterproof company to come in and dig around the house and do the basement. Then I figured out that the septic tank was out. So then I had to go and I had to get that restored. So all of these things happen. Versus with land, if you're just trying to jump in, I'm telling you, it's so much easier. It's easier to analyze. So you don't need to calculate ARVs. ARVs is after repair values. So that's what we do when we're flipping the house, or the estimated repair costs. We don't have repair costs, so we don't have to take any of that out. And we're in control of the whole deal. If I'm flipping the house, other people, I'm letting the contractor be in control of my timeline. All right. So here's some of the income potential with Wi-Fi real estate. Reoccurring passive income with owner financing. So this is one option. You can sell land with low down payments and monthly installments. So just say, for instance, you sell 2 properties per month with $5,000 down and $300 a month within 6 months. Now you're earning $3,000 to $6,000 a month passively, and the $5,000 paid you back what you already had paid on the land, bought the land for. All right, so that's one. The second one is cash sales for quick profit. So you buy low, you sell high. You buy for 3,000, you sell for 10,000. You buy for 5,000, you sell for 15,000. You buy for 20,000, you sell for 60,000. You buy for 100,000, you sell for 200,000. So those are things that, you know, that's how you make money in business. Period. All right. So here's step one. All my real estate tycoons, y'all already know this process because we've been through this multiple times. All right. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna find our market. So we're going to determine, where do we want to be? Where do we want to start investing in? So we begin by selecting a state to work in. And then I'm going to go, so just say, for instance, it's North Carolina. So next, I'm going to identify the major cities in that state and focus on the counties that are located 1 to 3 hours outside of those cities. So this specific, we broke this down the other day in training. This specific county is Caswell. Well, it's outside of a major city. All right, then I'm gonna break it down. What I'm gonna look for are areas of growth potential. So I'm gonna look for suburban outskirts, so rural areas near expanding cities. Anybody can do this. I'm telling y'all can do this. A few hours a week, you could do this. All right. Example: land in what's called a path of growth outside cities like Dallas or Atlanta. So you could pick a city like Dallas or Atlanta. I'm not going to invest inside of Dallas or Atlanta for many reasons. But I will invest outside of Dallas or in Atlanta because it's a lot of deals that could be done there as well. All right. The second thing is low property taxes. So we're going to avoid high maintenance property with HOAs and all of that stuff. All right. A 10-acre lot with $100 year taxes, that's what most of mine are, is perfect. It's perfect. That's a perfect situation. If you have to hold on to it for a few months, it's perfect. It is perfect. All right. And then thirdly is recreational or off-grid demand. So buyers want land for camping or ATVs or investment properties. Or I just sold some land to somebody that's wants to do what I want to do. I just haven't done it yet, which is an RV park. Anybody put an R in the chat if you've been thinking about doing an RV park or a trailer home park. All right, put an R in the chat. Like, yes, they need land for that. So they need land. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna lease out that land to people to put their RVs on it. So forever and ever and ever, 100 years from now, this family is gonna own this land, and people with RVs are gonna lease the land from them. They're gonna always own and control the land. Genius. All right, so here's some of the tools. If you got a pen, some of the tools we use is Zillow. So we search for vacant lands on Zillow. PropWire is another platform where you can find landowners and get the data and their purchase history to see, who owns those property. And we look at, Google Earth, and those platforms as well. So before I go to step two, when you flipping land, and this is for my real estate tycoons is on here too. When you're flipping land, you're not focusing on the king of properties. All right. So the king of properties will be those properties that are next door to, like, you driving downtown in your city, you like, oh, there's a big old lot. No, those are not. That's not what we're looking for. All right, that's not what we're looking for. All right, so we're not flipping 5-acre lots that are next to a ballpark downtown in a big city of America, or it could be like in a major city. We're not looking for that. So we're not looking for a $20 million lot where you got to spend another $3 million to get the infrastructure together to develop it. Typically, we're looking for $10,000 to $300,000 lots. All right. So this could either be in a city, which I'm gonna go through that in a minute, but I just had an epiphany. So it could be in a city. This is called, and write this down. City lots are called infill lots. INFILL. I think I have this in my training as well, but it's an infill lot. So an infill lot, or it could be on the outskirts of a town, which is called the path of growth. That's what I just said earlier. So I wanted to kind of go over that because I don't want to go over terms that you don't know. All right, so I went over path of growth. So that's right outside of a city, and basically, we that's it's recreational land, or someone's gonna use it for like dirt, biking or camping or having fun on it or hunting or like we just said, trailer parks, trailer home, all that. All right, so there's millions of buyers for these properties, and there's millions of sellers for these properties. So when you do land flipping, you are focusing on these kinds of properties so you can sell them quickly. Buy low, sell high. That's capitalism. Buy low, sell high. All right. So that's our ultimate goal. So rentals, I feel like rentals, yes, people gonna always need a place to live, but right now you need a bag, you need some cash, you need a portfolio. Waiting 25 years to wait for to cash out on a property that you've already put in, and it's just a lot. All right, I did it. I had houses for 20 some years. All right, so that's traditional. So traditional passive income like rentals, Airbnbs no longer work. Homes cost too much now. The average house is 300,000, 300 to 400,000. So by the time we'll break that down later. All right, I'm gonna keep going. All right, so step two, identify sellers. So now that we have figured out what market we want to be in, right? We identified our market. Now we got to figure out who's going to sell us a property, a land, a piece of land in that market. So how to find sellers. So we target absentee owners. Absentee owner is somebody that focuses on out-of-state owners or those that don't live on that property. And remember, nobody lives on the property because there's no structure on the property that we're pulling the data from. So a Chicago resident who owns land in Arizona, that's who we looking at. That's what we looking for because they tired of paying the taxes. They tired of something. It could be a lot of different reasons why they're selling this property. So they've been a landowner for over 10 years. That means that they haven't developed it. They haven't done anything with it. They're not utilizing it. It's just there. So these sellers are likely to be tired of holding the land and paying the taxes for it. So here's some untapped potential. Here's some untapped potential. So reasons why owners want to sell, again, property taxes, maintenance costs, mowing, repairing fences, land does not bring cash flow. Maybe that generation has passed on. Maybe it's in probate. We purchase a lot from a lot of estates, from a lot of trusts. We purchase a lot from a lot of churches who initially get the land for extension, to extend their development, and then they decide, well, financially we couldn't do it, or they decide to go in another direction. They just keep it on their books. They inherited it and they don't typically want it. Most of our children coming after us are not going to want what we have. They want to go another direction. Now, if it's in a trust, you can say, hey, I don't never want this land sold, but most times it's not in the trust, so people sell it. Developer builders, they sell infill lots. I just told you what the infill lot was. Somebody tell me inside the chat, what's the infill lot? I want to know if y'all paying attention. What's the infill lot? What's the infill lot? In the city. Yeah, yep. So infill lots, that's builders and developers like those, financial buyers, future retirees. They looking to retire, so they like, hey, I need to cash out. I need to pull some resources. All right, or recreational buyers. So somebody that wants to, do what we just talked about earlier. All right, so how do you find sellers? Well, we find sellers do direct mail. So it's called a direct mail campaign. So we send postcards saying, I'd like to buy your land for cash. Call us. It's a little bit more specific than that, but it's an offer. And um, and it generates a 4% response rate compared to a 0.5% response rate if I was trying to send somebody a message to sell their house. Or we do cold calling. So we have VAs, virtual assistants that call landowners directly through our database. We do what's called skip tracing. Skip tracing is where that's how people are find your information. If any of you own land or have property, I'm sure if somebody reaches out to you very often and says, "Hey, do you want to buy? We want to make an offer on your land." All right, VAs. I'm telling y'all, VAs. I used to hire people. I wanted to give them chances. I wanted them to take my place. I wanted them to do all of that. Now I hire VAs. VAs are very powerful. Y'all, any of you have businesses and y'all need help, y'all need to train a VA. They work. Not. I never thought I'd meet nobody that outwork me, but my VAs are up when every time I'm up, they up. All right. So, but again, they make hundreds of calls a day, generating over 7 to 10 leads a day. And then step number 3. Now it's time. Now that we found where we want to invest in, and that's going to be based upon the data. Then we're going to find the sellers, the people that want to sell their house. That's going to be based upon more data. Then we're going to analyze the deals. So now we're going to get deals coming in. People saying, "Hey, yeah, make me an offer." Hey, yeah, Terry, yeah, you sent me an offer for 10, but I really want 15. But really, I knew it was worth much more than that. So my budget was 20, so I'm still getting it for undervalue. So I'm gonna analyze the deal. So now we gotta determine the market value. So we're gonna look for comparable sales in that area recently sold. This is all public knowledge in most states. All right. Texas is not one of those states that discloses a lot of this information. So it's very hard. Texas is not one of my top states to invest in for land flipping. All right. So if if a nearby 5-acre lot sold for $20,000, then that's a benchmark. So that's a comp. So we can use that because we know that now this property will sell for at least that. So we're gonna do what's called a comparable a comp. All right. The second thing is we're trying to analyze the deal. We're gonna calculate your offer. Calculate your offer. So you're gonna market value times 25% minus 35%. So example, $20,000 market value. We're gonna offer $5,000 to $7,000. So you may say, well, coach, why would somebody take $5,000 for they land that's worth $20,000? Well, I just gave you multiple reasons why. I gave you multiple reasons why. Many of those people purchased this land years and years ago. It was passed down, so they probably didn't even pay $1,000 for the land. Probably not even $100. Maybe it was passed down even from other generations. So if you're tired of when you look at I'm looking at some things right now and I'm like, I pay because I got some stuff in Detroit. I got a duplex in Detroit. I got some stuff in Detroit. I'm paying high taxes on something. Like, I either need to renovate it, sell it, liquidate it. So if somebody called me, made me an offer right now, if I couldn't resist it, I would sell it to them, because right now I'm focused on land flipping. I'm focused on helping people build trust, trust funds. So you never know what position somebody may be in. But tools for analysis. So a land deal calculator, or Zillow, PropStream, PropWire. I gave you that earlier. I use Zillow, and I use Redfin. All right, so I use some of those platforms. But all right, step number 4. So now we have our market. Now we have a list of sellers. Now we have analyzed the deal. Now it's time for us to make offers. All right, because now we got data. We doing all this. We doing all this, Byron. We in Tulum at our beachfront uh uh condo, looking over the ocean with our Wi-Fi on our laptop. We not letting nothing stress us out. We got our pina coladas, and we are doing this for every market that we want to invest in. Everything is done online. Closing is done online. Offers accepted online. We sending out the mail online. We receiving the calls online. We got a virtual assistant doing our cold call. We got everything's online. Automation. This is modern day real estate, y'all. All right. I used to love getting in the car. Anybody else getting in the car, going around, looking at houses, going around, looking at, seeing what type of condition the house was in, and meeting with realtors and seeing what houses they had available. I spent days and days and days and days and days. Then I got to go back and take my contractor over there. Then I got to go get some estimates. It's just days. That's time. As I get older, my time's very, very, very important to me, Cheryl. All right, so market. What market? And as I told we was on Zoom earlier, some of my real estate tycoons, my land flippers, and I told them, I said, look, this ain't about emotions. We can't say, oh, I live such and such and such, and so I want to do it where I live. No, you got to do it where it works. All right, the numbers are gonna tell you where it works. You don't have to go look at it. You don't have to take a vacation to go look at it. So you got to do it where it works. And so once you find your market, you find sellers, you analyze the deal. Now it's time to make offers. All right, so we're gonna start low. We're gonna start with a low offer. So example, I'm gonna say, based on similar land in your area, we can offer you $6,000 cash. I can close within the next 5 days. If it's a $20,000 or $30,000 deal, I'm gonna say, based upon similar land in your area, I can offer you $20,000, Byron. We can have a speedy close within the next 10 days. We can have cash in your pocket. All right. So where's the cash come from? I'm gonna tell you in a minute. But all right, so now I'm gonna start low. And then when you start low and you're a good negotiator, even if you're not a good negotiator, because I'm going to make my tycoons good negotiators. We're about to do some role playing. But when you start low, you already know, as a real estate investor, in your mind where your cap is. It's just like going to an auction. When you go to a real estate auction or any type of auction, furniture auction, land auction, whatever kind of auction, when you go, you already know, I'm not paying more than $5,000 for that. I'm not paying more than $500 for that. That ain't worth more than $100. I'm not paying. No, you already know in your mind what you're not paying. So, and that's all based upon the value. That's based upon the number. So you already know that. So when you're negotiating, you know where your max is, and you're not going to go over your max. All right. The second thing is you're going to use simple contracts. So a simple contract is a purchase agreement that includes contingencies for inspections, or contingencies that you can get out of the contract if you change your mind. So example, that's called a subject to property survey. We're going to put that inside of the contract, and we're going to put a title search inside of the contract, because we want to make sure it's free from all types of liens and things like that. So we want to make sure that we have control of that property for at least 90 days without owning it. So I may not own it. So this is a way that I can negotiate. So I got one under contract right now. I'm working on a seller. I haven't even sent any money yet. I can, but I haven't sent any money yet. So I'm working on a seller. If I find a seller before I close on it, then I made money with it. That's what you call a double close. So on Monday, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna spend the money, buy it, and then I'm gonna sell it to the new owner. That's called a double close. All right, and all of this is done with just my VA team. All right, so step number 5, we market it. We found our sellers. We analyzed it. Now we're making offers to our sellers, and we're gonna start and sell offer low, and now we're gonna sell the land. All right, but I want to go back. So when I'm trying to sell it, Lisa, I'm gonna I'm gonna start low, but I'm gonna send them my offer. So I'm gonna send them. So that's why I got to price out the properties correctly, because I'm gonna send John Doe, who I'm sending an offer to in the mail. Or I'm cold calling. I need to have a number. So I'm offering them $6,000 cash, but I'm also putting it on a purchase agreement that I'm sending to them in the mail. All right. So now it's time to sell the land. All right, step number 5. We got 7 steps. Then we out of here. All right, so option number 1 is I can sell it to cash buyers. So I can market the land to investors and builders. Um, I use platforms like Zillow, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, uh, different platforms. I can sell it that way. The second thing I could do was owner financing. I showed you how to do that earlier. So I can say I'll take a down payment and then I'll take monthly payments. Typically, the down payment is going to be what I paid for it. So I'm going to get my money back, and then everything else is going to be pretty much interest. And then just say, for instance, that they don't pay me back. Well, in the contract, if they don't pay me back or they default on the loan, what's going to happen to the property, y'all? What's going to happen to it? Come on, land developers, land flippers, real estate tycoons. What's going to happen to it? It's still mine's, right? Or it's still yours. It's y'all. This is y'all deal. I'm gonna give y'all this deal. So this is y'all deal. So it's still yours. So if it's still yours, that means that now it's just kind of like going to a buy here, pay here, or one of them furniture rental places. You rent it. You don't pay it off. You're supposed to pay it off. You decide you don't want it. You give it back. Now they go give it to somebody else, and they go do the same thing. It's pretty much the same thing. So you purchase for $5,000. You sell it for $19,000 with finances. So now you become the bank. All right. So real life examples. This is a deal that one of my mentees that I've been helping for a minute in Arizona. He did a small land flip. Purchased $3,000. It's recreational. Sold it for $10,000 cash, and profit is $7,000. This is another example. This is an infill lot. Y'all know what the infill lot is now. So, purchase 15,000. Uh, Sale price was $40,000. So they actually sold this to a builder for a new construction project. So you literally, I'm not gonna typically do a deal that I don't double my money. Then this is a subdivision. Subdivisions take a little longer because we got to subdivide. So subdivision takes about 6 months because we gotta get some surveys and we gotta get it subdivided. But as you see, the numbers are beautiful. All right, so 45-acre lot, $80,000, and subdivided into 9 lots. Total revenue $500,000. All right, because now we're selling them individually, all of the 9 lots. So one lot went into 9 lots. All right, so one lot went into 9 lots. It's kind of like going to Costco and getting a big bag of candy and breaking it down, and into a big bag of candy and breaking it down to multiple bags of candy and then selling them and making much more money. All right, so y'all know this saying. If you've been with me any amount of time, I love this saying. Alvin Toppler, my mentor, sent me this many years ago, and I tell everybody about it. The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but it will be those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. So if we want 2025 to look different than 2024 or 2023 or 2022 or 2021, then we've got to literally start learning to unlearn and relearning. We can't just take this information and then we have a bunch of notes and then we have a bunch of screenshots and we never do anything with it. We never make any action. So land flipping, literally no cold calling. Well, I can cold call. I don't have to cold call. I just showed you an example where you can get a VA to cold call after you pull the data, but you don't have to cold call. I could just send letters for 12 months. I sent letters and did a phenomenal return. You don't have to have a license. You don't have to be a landlord. You don't have to deal with banks. You don't have to deal with loans. You don't have to deal with inspections. You don't have to deal with property visits. You don't have to deal with competition. You don't have to deal with repairs and rehabbing. You don't have to deal with upfront capital. All right, so this is my portfolio. This is what I did over the last 12 months, up until December of last year. I kind of did it quietly with a group of my friends, well, my mentees. They're my friends and mentees, a few of them. And this is what I did. Literally two a day. I'm sorry, two a month. My budget was about $6,000 a month in sending mail. One of my mentees, his was $3,000, and he averaged about one a day. But I did about two a day, and I have a VA that helps me. Many of you will meet her if y'all doing real estate. I mean, if y'all doing debt deletion 4.0. But she helps me, and she helps me in a lot of ways. I don't know how she does it, but she helps me, and we did this. Me and Maria did that. All right, so everyone's been talking about real estate, lately, and flipping houses, rentals, Airbnbs, wholesaling. If I say it right now, who wants to get an Airbnb? Everybody go put one in chat. If I say who wants to flip houses, everybody go put one in chat. All right, so again, we got to be open to learning, unlearning, and relearning. There's nothing wrong with investing, but I want my time to be more valuable. So I want my time to have more significance. And if a deal comes and I flipped and now I got 500,000 or 100,000 or something, or I have a surplus, then it may make sense for me to do. I'm a real estate investor, so if a good deal comes, I may take it. But when it comes to my time, do I want headache or do I want things to be peaceful? So just think about. I want you to just think about those things as many of you jump into being, a real estate developer or real estate flipper or an investor. Me, I want to learn and master land flipping for a reason. Many of you know that reason. That's robotic construction. But many of you may say, "Hey, I want to build houses or I want to have Airbnb." To me, why not figure out a way to start learning how to find low undervalued land and eventually build your own Airbnb community or your own recreational event space, or now you know how to do it and walk into it and don't have to be at value. Right now, if you go buy something, if I go buy something right now, it's gonna be at value. So again, the market seems a little bit overcrowded, and as you know, I am committing to this year not doing any more Airbnbs. I've taught many Airbnb classes. No more rentals, no more wholesaling. I'm just flipping land. I want to flip land. I want to learn every market. I want to learn every county. I want to be a powerhouse land flipper. This is another deal, recent deal that was done in November. Purchases land for 10,000, sold it for $26,000. The profit was $16,000. Remember I told you that was 45 days later. Remember I told you I'm not doing nothing where it's not going to double. And right now I'm doing a large development deal, well, a large subdivide. So I didn't use any private capital. That's a whole nother story. But I got some money tied up. But it's gonna when the subdivide gets done, it's going to make millions. It's going to make millions. All right. This is my flip house. I told y'all. This is gonna be the Tycoon house, but it has a pool in the back. And literally this is the before, this is the after. But as I told you, I don't know, my contractor's on here, Rick, but as I told you, there's been a lot of things and the schedule has been pushed back. I need full electric. I need the HVAC people came. Now they got to put the HVAC all the way up in the attic. Raymond went over there, yeah, and Raymond does HVAC. So it's just a lot. It's a lot, and I'm telling y'all, it's a lot. When you start talking about I want to be a flipper, it's a lot, and you got to be willing to tie up money and have have extra money to tie up into it. I'm not saying it's not profitable at all. I'm just saying I want to be in the most profitable situation. So this is some land that I have in Georgia, and it's working for me with incredible results. It's one of the things I told you I'm subdividing. So 63 acres, which is going to turn into millions, millions of dollars. All right. So what this is a stay-at-home mom that I told you, a group that I formed of people that had, you know, the resources to do it. And you know, some people, they get burned out. They try one or two things, they do two or three things, and they say, you know what, I did this and it didn't work, or I did that and it didn't work, or I did this and it didn't work. And I've tried a lot of things. Some of the things worked and some of the things didn't work. I did crypto, it didn't work, lost $250,000. I did I did real estate, it worked, but there are some deals that didn't work that I lost on. So then when you average out all the deals that I lost on and all the deals that I won on, then did I really win? I don't know. I don't know. But this is one stay at home mom. She used her 401k. She had a settlement. She had a settlement and a piece of a 401k, and she used 20. She used this to purchase this property. She made about $21,000 on it. This is a Mike. He still works a 9 to 5 job. He did this. He bought it for 70, and he sold it for 190. The 70 that he used to buy it was private capital. So he was able to borrow private capital. Private capital is when you're able to borrow it from an institution, whether it's a hedge fund or whether it's um, a venture firm, or whether it's a group of investors, and they give you the money to be able to purchase it. So I've been blessed to partner with a Deca hedge fund, which has given us unlimited capital after doing this beta. So I had to show them these deals and show them what we had done, and you know, I just really started out by going to the tax auctions, and many of the my mentees may be in here that have purchased property in the tax auctions. I thought that may be a route that we could flip properties, but it takes a while. It takes a while. You know, like you got to change over the deeds. I'm not saying that you can't buy land from the tax auction. I'm just saying to be able to do it like 2 deals a month, it would be very hard to do that, the tax auctions. Plus, you got to leave your house a lot of times for the tax auctions because you got to go, you got to look at it, you got to put eyes on it. You got to look, it's a lot. All right. So, but it's possible, you know, but the benefit is many of my mentees now have land, and some of them have been flipping it. So I don't know if Dominic is on here, but he purchased some land in Detroit when we did the tax auction, and he sold it for triple or quadruple what he paid for it. You know, so it's people. You know, and then I have another mentee that just flipped some land. So there's opportunities, lots of opportunities, whether you're selling it to the people that own the lot next to it, or whether you're selling it to somebody else. Most times these people, they just purchase another one of my mentees, he purchased, he lives in Dallas. He purchased some land with us in Detroit, and he bought 6 lots, and he's flipped all of them. All right, but we bought this for 50,000 and sold it for 120,000 in 37 days. All right, the 50,000 came from the hedge fund. This was purchased for 50,000. This is 28 acres. This is the contract for that. And it was sold for 120,000, and there was a profit of 70,000. That initial 50,000 came from the hedge fund. All right, so um, who's actually buying vacant land? Well, lots of people are buying vacant land. Campers, hunters, investors, as we just said, builders. Lots of people are buying vacant land. May not be an interest for you, but people are buying it, and it's selling. But if you don't think people are buying it, all you got to do is go on Zillow, do a search for land that was sold in a specific area during a specific time, and it's going to tell you what was sold. So remember, the numbers don't lie. Somebody put it in the saying, because I can't put it in the chat for me real quick. I can't remember this saying, but they used to say it back in the 80s. They said people don't lie, women don't lie. Tell me in the chat, what is it real quick? People don't lie. numbers don't lie, women don't lie. What is the saying? Numbers don't lie. Yeah, but it's a whole saying. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. That's it, Greg. Yep. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. Yeah, my grandfather used to say that. All right. So numbers don't lie. So if the numbers make sense, then that's the numbers. You know, if they buying it for 20 and selling it for 50, or if people are buying it for 5 and selling it, whatever. So people want more space in various cities. There was a deal that was just recently done in Florida, sold in 67 days for double. All right. So this is what it looked like. So literally $30,000. $30,000. This is 6 acres. So as you see, this was last year, June the 21st, 2024. It sold. All right. For double. So we purchased it for 15 and sold it for 30. So purchased it in June, sold it for 30. All right. So lots of opportunities out here. What I love about it is that you're able to do endless deals by partnering with hedge funds. No credit check, no interest, no payments. So for people to say, "Hey, coach, my credit's not good," or, "Hey, coach, my finances are not the best," like that's just not an excuse anymore. Now in the past, but not anymore, to stay where you are. Whether you do strategic partnerships, whether you get a business plan together and you just go on a rampage. Hey, I'm starting a land flipping business. I need to raise $3,000, and if everybody gives such and such and such a over 12 months, this is our projections. We should do this, and over this amount of time, this is what you're going to get back. You're also going to be able to invest more later, but I need to raise $3,000 so we can start our marketing for our land flipping business. We may need a little more because we need a little cheap website. We need a phone number. We need, some other tools that we're going to need, some software. But have you ever been interested in investing in real estate? Can you just put in $150 into the pot, and in 12 months, this is what you get back? So you got to sell yourself. You got to sell yourself, and people like to see that you got it together. So give them a presentation, give them some numbers, go online and start studying land flipping. You don't have to take my word. It's millionaires being made doing this. All right, so and it's not a big upfront like you trying to come up with 100,000. You don't need 100,000. Say, hey, we got the backing financially to purchase all of the deals. I'm gonna do the work. I'm gonna invest a few hours of my day or my week in order to build this business, and I believe that we can now use it and just keep rolling the money that we make into a pot. So, yeah. So, me, I'm gonna tell y'all where I'm at because we're pretty much done. I want to be the largest robotic developer, the largest black robotic developer to ever walk this earth. So this is Tycoon Senior over to the left. This is over to the right. This is robotic construction, working, building, people building. This is the future. I want us to, for once, be a part of the future, not be behind and then have to catch up. We're already 400 years behind. So we have the opportunity to be a part of something great, robotic construction. Our children can learn robotics. Our families now can learn robotics instead of breaking down their backs and their legs and their necks and getting arthritis and tearing up their bodies trying to build houses like the old days. All right, but I've always wanted to build houses. Now we got the opportunity, but in order to be able to do it and be the largest at it, we're gonna need land. We're gonna need access to land. We're gonna need relationships with people that have land. I have people in my program that is giving us hundreds of acres of land that their family has just been sitting on. They're not making no money. So what if you can show somebody how to make some money? That's what people want to know how to do. I've been doing credit for 25 years. I've been doing the trust for about 6. And people don't get excited about the trust because they don't really care about generational wealth. And people do get excited about credit, but then they mess it up 4 or 5 times throughout 20 years. They come back to me multiple times. But you know what people really get excited about? Making money. People want to know how to make money. And that's why most of y'all are here. That's why I got, how many people I got here? Almost 80 people in here. Because people want to know how to make money. So I want to, that's what I want to be able to show people. That's why I love Wi-Fi real estate, because I'm showing now people how to make money with their computer. You still can have your other dreams. You still can work your 9 to 5 job. You still can do whatever you've been doing. It only takes a few hours to do the few steps to learn your market, find sellers. We do what's called skip tracing. I told you that, and analyze deals, market the offer, sell it, and then sell the land. So these are some of the properties that are no-nos. No. Properties with no access. So landlocked property. No. We could look at it. I could look at it and tell. Properties that are covered with wetlands. We might be like, Coach, I don't want to buy the wrong property. Well, if you're a real estate tycoon, you're not gonna buy the wrong property, because I review every property before you buy it, and I give it to one of my mentors to look at it before we buy it as well. All right, so you're not gonna buy. The second thing is I show you the data and I show you the numbers. Remember, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So you're gonna look at the numbers and you're gonna look at the data, and there's software that can tell you if this is wetlands. It's software that can tell you what type of dirt this is, because the type of dirt is important when it comes to flipping and building. We don't buy on the sides of mountains. I know in LA there's houses built on sides of mountains, but not in most places. So we were talking about Utah today. Utah is a beautiful place, but it wouldn't be one of my first places for you to be able to invest in, because that means you're going to have to learn that software rather quickly. All right, so before we even launch our marketing campaign, we pretty much filter out all the land that doesn't meet that criteria that I just showed you. All right, I told you we buy from trust. We buy uh, um, from trust, from churches, from individuals, from estates, from probate, all that kind of stuff. So every business needs a marketing plan and a budget. So literally, this is what the it looks like. So when we pull the data, I told you we pull the data, the addresses, the phone numbers, all of that. Then we just uncheck anything that's not in alignment with what we're looking for, and we're going to take all those results. We're going to put them on the spreadsheet, and then we're going to start making offers to those people. I believe I'm an odds person, so I believe if I send, I used to have a paint company, and every day my goal was to pass out at least 100 flyers. And if I passed out at least 100 flyers, at least 2 people would call me back, and I would at least close one of those people. But I had to do 100. So I believe in the odds. This is where our mailer, where we enclose. So pretty much how to accept the offer. Give us a call, put our phone number in it, we put an offer code in it. This is what mine looks like in real life. My P.O. box, or my address for them to send it to. I give them an email to send the purchase agreement back to, and then I tell them they can either take a picture of the purchase agreement and text it to me. I give them multiple ways to get in contact with me and get me this purchase agreement. I don't want nobody saying, "Oh, I don't know how to email." Oh, then you have a lot of older people. They don't know how to do a lot of different. They don't know how to text. They might not know how to do a lot of different things. So that's what we do, and it's been working. And I do want to open up the floor for because I know we got a lot going on. So I want to open up the floor for anybody that may have any questions, and I want to use this time for Q&A period. So all you gotta do is put a Q inside the chat, and I'll unmute you. While the Q's are coming, if there's any, I will say not a W, a Q. All right, thank you, E. All right, so I will say that I am going to be doing Wi-Fi real estate every single week. It's going to be my Sunday thing, Wi-Fi real estate Sundays. I'm going to be bringing in some people also that are doing extraordinary in this field. I'm going to also be bringing on some other people that are can teach when it comes to Wi-Fi real estate. Now, my mentees that are in Real Estate Tycoons, we're going to be doing a class throughout the week. But I want to be able to share this information with you. Robo Real Estate is where I'm trying to get everybody to. Robo Real Estate is where you build houses with robots. I just showed you that. We got to be a part of some cutting edge stuff, y'all. If we're able to pull our resources together, our knowledge together, our expertise together, we find time to do what we want to find time to do. I want to give you, Miss Scott said the other day in prayer, we have a prayer group that we pray in the morning, Tycoon Prayers. You're always welcome to come if anybody ever want to come. But Miss Scott said the other day that I have the ability of making people believe that it's possible for them. And that's because I believe it's possible for me. As a kid, I didn't know I didn't have the money. We didn't live that great. We didn't live bad, but we didn't live that great. But I always saw myself where I am now. I always saw myself in a high rise. I always saw myself driving the nicest cars, and I always saw myself building houses. So you have to see yourself there. So for 2025, I just want you to see yourself where you want to be. Coming to all these classes every single week, signing up for everybody's programs, doing all these mentorships is not going to work in your life if you don't apply it. I'm in personal development right now because I want to be a billionaire. So I went to my billionaire mentor and got in his program because I want to be a billionaire. That means that I have to work on my personal development. I got to work on the words that I say, the things, my daily routine, my actions, my mindset, it's a lot of work, y'all. It's a lot. And I thought I had gotten to a whole nother level. It's a lot of work because you trying to go from 1,000 there to 100,000 there, it's some work. If you're trying to go to 100,000 there to a millionaire, it's some work. If you're trying to go to a millionaire just to say, hey, I'm trying to get to 10, 20 million. The average millionaire don't have 10, 20 million. Why? The average millionaire is not a billionaire. Why? So I ask myself these things and I'm like, oh, it's because they not working hard enough. And working hard enough don't mean the work that we've seen people do, going to clean, going to clean windows and doing busy work and just saying, oh, I worked all day. Woo, I'm tired. No, that's not working all day. Working all day is taking the time to learn, unlearn, and relearn, and being relentless. Every day I'm gonna work on the hardest thing first. If my thing is, oh, I'm scared. I see a lot of y'all with your cameras on. That's why I love y'all, my mentees. But I'm hiding behind my camera because that's not my thing. Well, maybe that may be the thing that's holding you back. Is that's not your thing. You scared to talk to people. You scared of what people think. I ain't scared of what people think, but then turn your camera on. Let's talk. We're in a room full of businessmen, businesswomen. So I had to push myself. I told my godson the other day, I'm a shy person. He said, that's hard to believe. I said, I am a shy person. Growing up, I was shy. One day I got on Facebook Live and I went live because I was determined I was going to conquer being shy. I was fearful to take a mic. I promise you I was. The first time I did it, hundreds of people came into the room and literally I just started talking. I did it every Thursday. And then I started a series called Wealth Church. And I just started talking on live. And that's what helped me to get more comfortable with speaking. Because I figured the people not there, so it don't matter. And then from there, things evolve, but I am a shy person. So I could easily say, oh, I'm shy, so I don't want to, I'm scared to talk. I'm not going to allow being scared to keep me from where I need to be. And nobody is going to promote you like you. Nobody is going to speak up for you like you. Nobody is going to take up for you like you. Nobody is going to care as much as you care. It don't matter. So you've got to take the initiative. So for my real estate investors, again, if you want to be a real estate investor, I believe you can. When I was 20 years old, I had gotten out of prison for making some bad decisions and bad choices, and I didn't have any money. All my money had been spent in legal fees. I worked my behind off with my painting company until I got $10,000. I went to my uncle and I told him they were killing it in the real estate game. I went to my uncle and I told him, because I knew I could not go back to jail. I was not ever getting back in trouble, and I wanted to make the same money or more of what I was making when I was out there before, but I want to do it legally. So I went to my uncle. I had made 10,000 because I got a big contract to paint a Walmart, and I told him that I wanted to flip houses, but I didn't have enough to buy the house. He said, "Well, if we're gonna buy the house and you pay for the renovation, and we'll split the money." He said, "If every deal you want to do after that, we'll buy the house, you pay for the renovation, and we'll split the money." And that's how I got into real estate. If I had said, "Oh, I'm too scared," "Oh, I'm prideful," "Oh, I don't want them thinking I want no handouts," like, you got to unlearn all that stuff, y'all. You got to ask for what you want, and if that person don't do it, you got to keep going. So even in this real estate thing, you may not have you at least need $3,000 to send your mail out. You may not have it. Get in it and figure it out when you get in it. Learn it. It'll come. I promise you. I get in. I'm in real estate. I told you I've sold all my businesses because we had to buy a $2 million printer, and then on top of that, I need to pay for a $300,000 bond. On top of that, I got to get working capital. So I need millions of dollars. I sold all my businesses, and I still need more money. But I'm believing God, because God's gonna come through. I can't be, oh, I'm too scared. No, I'm going to be the top. We are going to be, because many people in my program invested. I raised some capital, probably like $200,000, and we raised some capital in the community. So some people here are investors in Tycoon Capital, the 3D side, and then I have the money that I put in for my businesses and all of that. So I believe it. I can't see it, but I believe it. I believe it. And we talking about millions. So every day somebody calling, "Hey coach, I got 200 acres of land my family has. Y'all want it?" One of my mentees just called. I was on the way to a meeting. She called. She's in Vegas. She might be on here right now. I don't know. She said, "Coach, I got 67 acres of land right out in California, right outside LA. If you want it, you can have it, coach. You just pay me later." So land just coming, but what if I had stayed where I was? Talking about, "Oh, I'm gonna try to figure it out. I ain't got all the money." You ain't never gonna have all the money. You ain't never gonna have all the money. Let's just be clear. On every level, you go dream higher, and you ain't never gonna have all the money. All right, let's do cues, and then we out of here. I feel like I've lost some cues. Hold on. All right, Aaron.
Hey, Coach, just two quick questions. With virtual assistants, is there a certain country that you recommend? I've talked to certain virtual assistants in India, Philippines, Jamaica, even Mexico. And then my second question is, there are cities where infill lots are worth it, like cities that might be on the downtrend, like St. Louis, Memphis, cities like that in the Midwest or like towards the South.
All that's gonna be work based upon how fast those lots in that area in those infill lots are selling, because there are cities. I mean, if the numbers work, then yes. But if I see where those lots in those cities are staying on the market for 6, 12, 2 years, then no, that's not even. It may be affordable, but it's not going to work for I need to look at the data from the last 90 days, from the last 120 days. So yes, that could work. You are right. I think that building a VA team is based upon, it's not necessarily based upon like my VA team is in the Philippines, but it's not based upon location. It's based upon if they speak, if you need them on the phone, if they speak good English, and then it's based upon if they're willing to do the work. That's what I look at.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Was that the last question you had?
Yeah, that's it for tonight.
Okay. If anybody wants my new book, I said I was gonna give it to you. Just text this number. I just put that in the chat. Text that number. That's my new book. Anybody want to consider uh who's the next person? Nyland, you are up.
Hello, Coach. Hello.
Hey,
First of all, I want to say it's my birthday. Happy birthday.
happy birthday. Hold on, 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 hold on. Hold on. Everybody unmute your phone. Y'all know how we
Happy
Happy
do.
birthday.
birthday.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Happy
Happy
birthday. Happy
birthday.
Happy
birthday.
Happy
birthday.
birthday,
Birthday.
brother.
Whole day.
Happy birthday.
Happy
All right,
birthday. Many more.
now you can go.
Am I unmuted? Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. It's been a great day. Thank you. Um, my question is, you were mentioning how if we look at land, and we're wanting to assess it, that you would be able to look at the land for us and kind of give us your analysis of whether it be a good piece of land to invest in, to flip. Um, how would we? I was a couple months ago. I joined the 800 Club, and now I recently just joined the School of the Rockefeller Mentorship, and so I'm
Mm-hmm.
kind of new to the Rockefeller Mentorship, and so I want to know, how do we go about getting in touch with you or your team to analyze any deals that we may have?
Well, I only analyze deals for the people that's in my boot camp. So if you would like to, hear more information about getting inside the Real Estate Tycoon boot camp, then I'll put the link inside the chat. You can set up a not a one-on-one, but a demo call with me. It'll be with me anytime this week, and I'll show you the different levels. So if you came in through the Tycoon School, there's other levels of the tycoon umbrella. One of them is real estate tycoons. So a lot of the real estate tycoons are on here, but I look at all of their deals, and I train them on how to do it, and they have access to the capital. So all of the real estate tycoons do. So yeah,
Okay.
so the link is in the chat if you would like to set up a demo call. Set up one with me this week. I just put the link inside the chat.
Okay.
Um, Terry, I put the how to get my book. That's inside the chat as well. It should come to you actually right now. And then I had one more person that had a queue. Trying to find them. Al. What's up, Al? All right. Let's do you up, man. Al, you there? Y'all texted me about the book. I said the book is in the link. It's in the chat. It's okay. Al, we can't hear you. Hello, hello. Can't hear you, brother. I see you unmuted, but we can't hear you. Good to see you, Carlos. Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's to all of y'all. All right, Al, you might not want to go out, come back in. I've got about 2 more minutes in here. Um, it's a text. So Raymond, you scroll up, you see text free to 866-697-5844. So it's a text. The link for the one-on-one is above that as well. All right, I'll put the link back in here. All right, any more cues inside the chat before we go? Anybody have just any real estate questions? I know this is a new thing, and I want to continue to give you information on. Uh, go ahead, Jay. Al, if you go out and come back in, you're able to do it. Let me know. But it sounds like your mic is not connecting. Joel, you up?
I had a question about. I was trying to understand when you said if we put the flyer, the mailer, to say that we'll close in 5 days or 10 days, but then we're doing an option to hold the property for 90 days. How does that work?
Well, that was an option. So that was an
Okay,
option. The holding one was an option. I was giving you ways to be able to wholesale it in that time frame. But if I'm sending in the everything is negotiable. So once they contact you, we negotiate from there. But
got
we
it.
start with the offer in the mail starts it. So they may say, I may send them 15,000. They may say, no, I want 20,000, or they may say I want 100,000, and I say no, I don't. I'm not. No, thank you. So it really just depends, but that 90-day thing is an option to be able to put in the contract, and sometimes they'll give you a little longer, so it really just depends, and it's going to depend on the price. So that 90-day one is typically what I may do on something that is costing maybe a little more. So like the one I have
Hmm.
one on is like it's 100,000. So it costs a little bit more than just a 20,000, 30,000, lot. So I would take the 90 days to try to shop it. Plus, I still have to have some time to do the survey and all of those things that come with it.
Got it. No, it's perfect. Thank you.
No problem. Raymond, you are up. Wi-Fi real estate Sundays.
Hey, cool. So when we gonna do another one of them them ones like we did over in Pahrump?
I'm not doing auctions right now, Raymond. You could do an auction if you want to. I'm not doing them right this moment. I'm just putting more emphasis this year on flipping land. I mean, auctions are every day, but I just don't have the bandwidth to do it. There's nothing wrong with the auctions. But I'm even learning, like, by flipping the land, I'm finding even better deals than the auction, even in Pahrump. So I'm showing people how to find it, how to be able to send it out to owners there and things like that. So if a good auction comes up, I will do it. But with auctions, again, I'm trying to build millionaires this year. So in order for me to be able to do that, I need to be able to build a system that is scalable. Auctions is more something that you're gonna probably keep in your portfolio or for your family. It's not something you're gonna get in and then, because if you do, you got to get in. You got to change the deed, because the deed that you have is going to typically be a tax deed, and you're going to have to change that deed, which costs money, and you're going to have to change that to a warranty deed before you can even sell it or get a loan against it. So it's just a lot of levels to it, and I feel like people get frustrated with me oftentimes because they don't want to do all the work. They just want to do some of the work, and when they figure out it is work, then I don't see them no more. so, yeah, it's true. So I don't see them no more. So I'm trying to find the best system for people to be able to see faster returns. And flipping land, you can flip land, you go see $10,000, $20,000 in the next 30, 60 days. So that's a faster return. I have somebody to back it. So sometimes people don't have the money for the auctions, or we piecing together money. So I think that what I did was I showed everybody how to do it, and I think the people that were watching, and if not, you have access to the videos inside your training. Not you, Brian. I'm just talking about everybody. But people, if they want to go back and see how to go buy tax lien, tax deed properties. Now we'll say rent. We're working on a board where we're putting together to be able to start getting going after uh, land bank properties. So Rand's taking the lead on that, and we're almost ready for that. But like, for instance, a lot of the places where we've purchased land and tax auctions, a lot of that has to be developed or it's gonna take time. It's great properties, but it's gonna take time. This land is flippable literally tomorrow if you want to flip it tomorrow. You know,
Oh, okay.
so when we're gonna do one again, I can't promise this year, but if one good comes up, I'm willing to do it. But the due diligence takes time. We spent hours and hours and hours and hours on Zoom looking through those properties through due diligence. With flipping land, I don't do that. I do the 7 steps I just showed you. I find my market. I find the seller's information. I analyze the deals. I make an offer. I send it out in the mail. I wait for responses, and I close the deal. And I'm closing in a few weeks. I ain't spending no hours and hours and hours. Not saying nothing's wrong with it, because it was a great learning experience for many people that might have had just $1,000 or $1,500 to buy some land. I think that it's a great thing to do if you want to build your portfolio up to hold on to parcels. But to turn it into a business is it's impossible to scale a land flipping business just going to the tax auction.
Gotcha.
Nyland, I don't do one-on-one consultations. Only for my inner circle mentees. It's a group call. Sometimes it's only one person on the group call, but I can't guarantee that it'll be a one-on-one though. Um, Come on, Jay, come back with your question, man, because I don't understand what you're saying. Tell me what you're saying, brother.
So
Oh,
when we
wait,
do
I see a few more people. I just scrolled up. Okay, go ahead, Jay. And then I got some more people. I see some cues.
Yeah, no worries. So I'm saying when we take the money, when we're using the hedge fund money to do one of those deals, right?
Uh-huh.
And let's say, for instance, we buying a lot for $10,000. We got the hedge fund to give us the 10,000, then we sell it for 50,000, right? How much are we supposed to pay back the hedge fund? Are they asking for 25% on that
No,
money, or
it's probably going to be 50.
50%
Mhm.
on that money?
Typically.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yeah, but realize you can do 100 deals in 1 month if you wanted to. So
Mm,
you're still leveraging that, and all you really had into it was, well, it depends on how much your mailers are. So you made 25,000, but you really only had 3,000 in it.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when people level up and they able to well, they want to fund their deals themselves, you can fund your deals yourselves. This just gives you the opportunity to just get right in it and not have to try to raise the first part of that capital. Or you, like some people like me, I got a lot of money in one deal. I'm going to subdivide. I'm subdividing. So if I'm trying to get, if 5 more deals come this month, I'm maxed out on what I can invest. So I'm go to the hedge fund so that I don't leave no money on the table. Go ahead, Terry. I know some other people in the chat too. Um, Jay, if you think of something else, let me know. But go ahead, Terry.
Thank you. So quick question as far as the hedge fund is concerned. So let's say um, we have the seller that's motivated to sell. We have the agreement on the price. What is the process to get the money from the hedge fund to the seller? Is there a contract between myself and the hedge fund that I would sign before the money is released to the seller, or how does that process
No,
work?
you don't orchestrate that. Um it happens at a title company. So a title company is going to handle the closing. So a title company does all of our closings, and the hedge fund is just going to fund it. So they wire the money over to the hedge fund. I mean, to the title company, and they make sure that everything is clear as far as the title and all of that is concerned, and everything is virtually done virtually.
Okay, so would my name be on the title after the seller
You do it.
is paid?
You do a JV agreement. You do a joint venture agreement. If you're
Okay,
not coming with all the money, you do a what's called a JV agreement. But yes, your
okay,
name would be on title.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
No problem. Ray.
The question was answered, but I have a question regarding the the 3D print stuff. Are you taking questions on that?
Yeah, always.
Okay. Are you at any point like taking like I don't know if it's partners or investors to help facilitate in doing the whole 3D print process, or is it just something you working on kind of in the background?
No, I meet with people every day. I just met with I don't know if Demon's on here, but Demon brought he live in Indy, but he brought Hyundai. We met with him. Then we've been meeting with a lot of companies every day. So I'm open to partnerships or people that have things to bring to the table. That's what it's really all about. That's why I introduced it to this community because I we can't be the top developer with just me. So I need everybody's help. So people been throwing in land. People been, Joe Walker is a contractor, so he's been getting licensed in all the states so that we can be able to build in the states that we need to build in. So I'm open to relationship building, partnerships, or anything that could take us to the next level.
Is there the last question is there anything specific that like a list of things that you're trying to knock out so that people can jump in where they fit in? Like I might be able to do
The
something that
main thing I'm
you
trying to
might help
knock
me.
out now is we need some more capital. So I need,
Okay.
I just need a little bit more cap. Well, we're gonna need a lot more capital, but right now I gotta. They said they just threw a bond on me that I gotta get. So that's one thing, and then I gotta have some capital for the team to go and for them to do the training, which is gonna be a 6 week training. So that's one of the things that I'm dealing with right now. But outside of there, like I got this this training that I'm doing where I'm teaching people how to buy land and flip land. And then I got Rand who's spearheading another team where we're working with land banks to be able to get and develop land so that by the time we start building on the 3D side, we have, things lined up. We all own over 7,000 collectively. We own over 7,000 acres of land, so we have a lot of land together, including myself. I have land here in Georgia, land in Detroit, land in Indianapolis. Got 30 acres of land. Indianapolis, we got access to a lot of land, but to be able to the ultimate goal is to get it, to make sure that everybody is trained on it, and to build at least a model house in the cities that we're going to build in so that we can get this, because I've been meeting with a lot of mayors and a lot of city officials about affordable housing and about workforce development housing. So it's one thing to say it and show them a video, it's another thing to walk them inside of it. So that house that I just showed y'all earlier, the one I told y'all I was flipping, I decided to keep it. So I'm gonna put a ADU in the backyard, additional dwelling unit in the backyard. It's gonna be a tiny house 3D model. So I can do it. I can do a tiny home a lot faster than I can do it. I can do a 3 bedroom, 2 bath. So I'm gonna do that so that we'll have a model. But hopefully that answers your question. But I'm open to anything when it comes to that. Whether it's I just met with somebody the other day. They have some type of technology that allows internet to be able to flow through the house because it's all what some of the reviews on 3D houses is that the internet is not good because it's all concrete. Then I have somebody that I've been meeting with that has a hemp farm and is willing to source us out the stalks from the hemp because we use hempcrete So the stalks they throw away, which also has hemp in it, which we could use for the mixture. So I'm open to whatever is going to revolutionize what we're doing, whether it's
Okay.
capital, whether it's experience, whether it's technology, whether it's resources, whether it's connections, whatever the case may be.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. As you can tell, I'm very passionate about the 3D thing. All right. Anybody else? I see. All right, Greg, you gotta jump off. I'll see you in prayer in the morning, Greg. Anybody else put a Q in the chat if I looked over you before we go. Just put another Q in the chat. If you already put one and I overlooked it. All right, Nyland, you're up.
Okay. I guess I'm just trying to figure out what level I need to be at to do what. um, so I originally joined the 800 Club, and my interest was in the robo homes. Um, and I was kind of under the impression that I could get in on the robo homes with the 800 Club. I'm not sure if that's still the case or not. Um, and then so I'm primarily at this moment interested in the robo homes. Specifically, I know at the moment you guys are looking at Pahrump. I have some land out there, but other places as well I'm interested in, and I'm interested in um flipping lots. And so I'm trying to figure out what level I need to be at to really do either of those.
Well, that's why I told you to book a call with me so I can go through a demo with you. But briefly, I'll tell you, people that are in the 800 Club, they do get access to the printer, but I don't. It really just going to depend on the availability and the resources that that person may have. So they're still going to need resources. If it's in the area where we're doing so like Pahrump, then yes, we could partner with you to be able to build your home. Um, Typically, the people that are investors and that have invested in the fund that purchased the property, those are people that have first priority to the 3D printer as far as investment side. So we could build a house for $67 a square foot. Y'all already know the numbers. We'll go through those. Anybody wants me to go through the numbers, I can go through the numbers. But just being a part of the 800 Club, yes, will get you a seat at the table to be a part of the development, yes, and to be able to learn the development and be a part of it. As far as on the aspect of investing, the 800 Club is just $1,000. So not saying that's just $1,000, but we have people that are investing a lot more, which will have priority to the 800 Club people. That's why I'm doing the land flipping because I want people. What will get you in the game is if you have land. So if you
Okay.
have land, that puts makes you have a seat at the table, and then what will happen would be Tycoon Capital would fund the build side. You will put your land up. So a lot of people do have land. So a lot of people on here have land. They have land in Pahrump. But they may not have the money for the development side. So Tycoon Capital is going to pay for the development side, and then they're going to put their land up, and then we will partner. They will partner with Tycoon Capital on that specific deal.
Okay. So two things. Just to mention the first thing, I would be able to fund it myself. But on the other thing, I have been on a demo call before, and I don't know, maybe I missed something. That's why I just don't want to get on a demo call and miss
Well,
something again.
the demo call has changed, and you didn't get on one with me, so I do demo calls now. So these same questions you could still ask me on the demo call.
Okay.
As
So,
far as the land flipping boot camp is only available for the real estate tycoons land flipping boot camp. So you will have to be in the land flipping boot camp to get access to the land flipping boot camp. Which
okay. I was
I
just trying to figure out what I missed, and I guess it's
Yeah,
just I
things
need
change
another demo.
rapidly around here, so I understand. That's why I don't mind. Look at Lisa Shay. So things change rapidly around here, because we're always evolving, and things may change tomorrow. But on the 3D side, we've been pretty consistent, And when I met with a lot of people, pertaining to it, I realized that I needed a lot more people on my team that could access land. We needed land. in order to be able to make all this work. So yeah, so if you book one with me, yes, I will go through our offer. Everything has changed. The 800 Club, we don't have the 800 Club anymore. It's the 800, uh, the 800 Club that many of you have. We don't even have. I mean, you still have it, but we don't even sell the 800 Club. We sell 800 3.0, 800 4.0. So we sell two different versions of the 800 Club, two different things are a lot different. We don't do that deletion for people anymore. We allow them to do it themselves, so we do it with a VA. So a lot has changed within our communities at the top of the year. So I would say set up a demo call. I do all the demo calls. So any questions that you may have, I can answer those questions at that time.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, no problem. All right. Any other questions? Marcelli, if you have a question about debt deletion, set up a demo call, or come if you're already a member, set up a expert call, which I do them on Tuesday. All right, this is a master class. We don't typically do membership calls here, but I wanted to go through the membership so that many people here will understand it. All right. So if you need a demo, set up a demo, and I'll be on the demo call, even if you are a member and want to understand things. Rand, you got something to say? Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I just want to let everyone know, everyone who applied to be on the committee for the land bank, we have looked at everyone's applications. We have chosen, people to be on that committee. I just have to discuss with Coach exactly how we're going to do it, how we're going to do the meetings. Like he said, so many things have been changing. So many things have been, there's enough meetings that's happening already, and weekly meetings and classes going on. So I just have to figure out how to put that into the mix as well to get the land bank committee together so that everyone can see how to work that and be a part of that and see where they fit in with that. Just want to let everyone know that we have looked at the applications and we have a committee chosen. So you guys will hear from us soon. I know a lot of people on here from that. That's why I wanted to make that quick announcement.
Yes, I'm sure they're glad. Type of 7 in the chat if you put an application in to be on the land bank board. The land bank board. All right, Ann. Yeah, Ann. I remember seeing your name. Miss Marie. I know she was on there. Latrice. Yeah. So Rand will be taking the lead on that. For those of you. Yeah. So we on the move, y'all. I would like to see many of you on the morning prayer with us. Uh, with us in the morning sometimes, at least once a week. We starting the challenge tomorrow too, a fitness challenge. So everybody have a great night. Good to see you, Ramona. Good to see all of you. Everybody have a great night. I'll see y'all next week. We got classes on Tuesday and on Thursday. I got some phenomenal speakers coming in, instructors coming in, and then I will see you myself. I'll be doing the same class next Sunday. I have some more stuff I'm gonna be sharing with you. We're gonna go through deals and things like that. So everybody have a good night.